Joe Flacco's been better than anybody probably expected. Peyton Manning, on what he has seen from Joe Flacco. This from ESPN's Pardon the Interruption.
I'll tell you, it's been impressive. I watched that game against Jacksonville yesterday. Joe Flacco never sweats. I mean, he is as calm in the fourth quarter of a tight ball game as he is in the preseason warmups. I mean, he's just smooth. He's always in control. Look, that's not easy. I mean, we've seen different quarterbacks come in. We saw Dobbs come in and kind of make a good run, but now he's kind of come back to earth a little bit and had a tough day yesterday. But, Joe coming in, learning the new system. I think the one thing Joe's probably been able to do is, look, it's hard for a young quarterback to come in, Tony, Mike, and tell the coach, I don't like those plays. These are the ones that I like, right? A veteran quarterback like Joe Flacco can say that. He goes, hey, this is what I know. Give me these concepts. I can move the ball. So I think he did that with Kevin Stefanski, and good for Kevin for saying, you got it, Joe. We want you to be comfortable. Yeah. I think it's easier for a veteran quarterback to do that, and Joe's done that. The Browns are looking pretty good right now.
So, Fred, I know you've written an article for the Orange and Brown Report. Why do you think Flacco's best suited for the Browns in their quest for a playoff spot?
Well, I just think, Dave, that I wrote that last week, well before the announcement was made that he was going to start the rest of the season. He just, in that one game, he just showed a calming presence, and he just showed, that he can still do it. He still had the arm. He still had enough mobility. And then he built on that first game. I would have never expected that type of production. I was looking for him to just be a game manager and not lose the game like you saw with P.J. Walker, in the Seattle game and some of the others. And I should say this, being around him, I see why him and Kevin Stefanski get along. They are very similar. I mean, they not only look similar to me, their demeanor is similar. He's got that calm presence about him that just puts everybody, I think, at ease that's around him. And so I just think all the way around, it's a good move going forward. It just gives them, here's a guy who's been there, done that, and they just need to take care of business. And the offense, knows what they need to do. They actually did more than I expected. And I think they now have confidence, the team's behind him, and I think it really is quite a Cinderella story that the arch rival of the Ravens now could be the hero for the hometown fans.
Yeah, and the offense has looked probably, other than the second half against the Ravens when Watson kind of did what he did against the Ravens, offense against the Rams and then last week against Jaguars, and again, those aren't world-beating defenses, but it's looked consistently as good as it has probably all season.
I think his first 300-yard passing game, what he's done, 565 yards in 2 games. I mean, and this is no knock on Watson or anything, but how can a guy, come in off the couch, he's been around, I think, 20 days, but in 10, 15 days, do what he did back-to-back weeks. And we heard about rust, for a long time with Deshaun Watson. And, Flacco was kind of off really at least 11 months or so since he last played. I think he last played at the very end of last year, but it was very little. So to credit to him, and what a story that would be. I mean, to have a guy like that come in off the street. It also points to the fact that, you hate to say it a little bit, but where was a guy like that earlier in the season? You could really point, if you'd had an adequate or a backup that wouldn't have lost games for you, that you might have won another game or two.
Yeah, I would agree wholeheartedly. And to take it even a step further, it didn't make sense to not have a veteran backup quarterback when you went out and got all the veteran backups that you had that you're relying on now at all the other positions.